Hi guys, today I want to talk about my updated NBA playoff predictions. So last round I had some ones that were right, some ones that were wrong, so I want to talk about those first. Starting off in the East, I have the Celtics beating the Heat. I think I actually said 6 games and it was 5. That was pretty accurate for the most part. And then for the 2 seed, I think that was the Knicks and the 76ers. That one was wrong. I said the 76ers were going to get the upset. But the one thing I've definitely learned with that first video is you could not predict injuries. And the injury to Joel Embiid definitely had a huge impact on that series. Maxey definitely tried to keep it close, but ultimately the 76ers, or not the 76ers, the Knicks won it in 5. And even with Embiid hurt, I didn't think it would end in 5. I thought it'd be at least 6. So that's very impressive from the Knicks, in my opinion. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. Then with Bucks Pacers, I did say the Pacers were going to win, even if they had Giannis for a couple games, even just one. I still thought the Pacers were going to win. I really liked that team. And they did win. I believe that was 6 games. And I think I said 7, but I also thought Giannis would play at least one game. And for the final game out east, sorry. That has not been decided yet. That is Magic, Cavaliers. That game or that series should be over soon. I decided to make this video now still because I think whoever wins that series is still going to end up losing to Boston. I'm not really concerned necessarily about who wins that because I already know who I'm predicting to win. And I don't really think the number of games is going to matter either. I'll talk about that in a second. And for the West, I had the Nuggets, I had the Thunder beating the Lakers, I think, and the Lakers ended up being the 7th seed and ended up being Thunder Pelicans. The Pelicans, I thought they would have Zion, and they did not. So the Thunder made it very, very easy. And with the playing games, I did get a couple of those wrong. I think I got both in the East right. I think I had 76ers as the 7th seed, and then Heat as the 8. And then I think in the West I had them wrong. I think I just had them switched. I think I had the Lakers at 8, and then Pelicans at 7. Those were switched. Like I said, I can't predict injuries, and the Zion injury was obviously huge. And I think if they had Zion, they definitely would have gave him a game. The Lakers, even though it was a sweep, it was a very close sweep. There's definitely no denying that. They definitely fought really hard, and you got to give them credit for that. With the what was the second? Nuggets and Lakers. Nuggets, Lakers. Or I really already talked about them. Sorry. It is who was it? Not Nuggets. Timberwolves and Suns. The Timberwolves and Suns. Very, very interesting series. I actually thought the Suns were going to win, and they obviously did not. It was a sweep, a very surprising sweep in my opinion. I thought the Suns would get at least one game. I obviously thought they would get 4, but they did not get even one. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in the video. How impressive I thought the Timberwolves were overall. I think they could definitely go conference finals, maybe even more. Just how impressive they were. They seem like a very complete team. Obviously, Anthony Edwards is their guy, but they have a really good supporting team around him to make a run. And then with Mavericks, Clippers, I got that one right. I said Mavericks. I thought in 7, it went 6. And the Mavericks seem to have gotten better during the series, and I wouldn't be surprised if that continues. I think they're a popular upset pick against the Thunder, and I can see why because they're a younger team, but I'll get into that in a second. So let's start off in the East. We have Celtics versus either Magic or Cavaliers. Like I said, I don't really think it's going to matter much who wins. Besides that one little game against the Heat in Boston, where the Heat just played really, really well, I really don't see the Celtics losing. I see no way it happens. They're much better, in my opinion, than both the Magic and Cavaliers. I think they probably prefer the Magic just because they're a younger team, less experienced. I think it will be the Cavs, though. And if they do get the Cavs, maybe they get one game. I don't see much more than that. And I think the Celtics win in like 4 or 5, probably. Then it would be who would it be? Knicks and Pacers. Knicks and Pacers. And I think the Pacers are a dangerous team, but I was not impressed with them against Milwaukee. I thought they would win in like, what did I say, 7 with Giannis, and it took them, 6 without. So I just feel like they should have, it should have been an easier series for them. They just didn't look as good as they thought they would. And they also had Lillard out for part of that series. So they just did not impress me as much as I thought they would. And don't get me wrong, they're still very good. Especially because this is their kind of first playoff run as a group. But I definitely want to still see more. And I think they could definitely prove it in this series. But the Knicks just look too good. And I know with Embiid out, that definitely made a difference. But I don't think necessarily that's reflective on how good they are as a team. I think the 76ers are a very good team overall, and that's probably why they struggled a little bit. And I think the most impressive thing about the Knicks is late in games, they show up the most. It's when the game's on the line, they do probably the best. They basically stole a game from the 76ers late. 76ers had a 1. The Knicks came back. There's a lot of games like that. It's just really, really close. Very close, and they found a way to win. And they did that a lot, and they did when they needed to. I think that could be another big factor in this series. And so I'm going to say Knicks I'm going to say 6. I think the Pacers get a game or 2. I'll say 6. I don't say you go to 7. I just don't see that happening. So yeah, I'd say 5 or 6. I'll say 6 though. Which would give us, Celtics, Knicks, which would be great. Boston versus New York in the conference finals. And then out west, we would have Thunder and Mavericks, which I talked about a little bit. Arguably two of the top 3 MVP candidates, obviously. And then Jokic is also the other series. But in this one, it'd be Doncic and SGA. Look, in this series, I think this is Luka's chance to prove he's the MVP of the league. I personally think he should be the MVP. But right now, he probably won't get it. But if he does manage to somehow win the series, he could, somehow move into number 1. But this is his chance. The Mavericks, if they're going to do it, this might be their year. Kyrie seems to have elevated his game to another level. He reminds me, or seems to be reminding me of kind of like his prime as a player. He seems to have kind of gone back to when he was playing with the Cavs a little bit. Reminds me of that. And Luka's probably at his best too. So if they're going to make a run this year, it's probably this year. And while the Thunder are a great team, this is probably like a pretty decently good matchup for them because the Thunder are young. And they got a pretty easy matchup against the Pelicans. They weren't really tested that much. And that's partially because they're a really good team and also partially because Pelicans were missing their best player, and that affects them a lot. They kind of I wouldn't say like bad into the season, but, you lose that game to the Lakers. You got to play the 1 seed, and, everything kind of falls apart. So I would say this is a favorable matchup for the Mavericks. They had to, get a 1 seed. But I just can't pick the Mavericks here. I just can't see it happening. The Thunder's way too good, in my opinion. I think this goes to 6 or 7. I'm going to say 7. I just think Luka and Kyrie can get them there, but I just don't see them taking it all the way. Full 7 games to win it. So I am going to say Thunder in 7. And yeah, I mean, the series could honestly go either way. It really depends. Like, it's one of those series where it could be the first mistake, kind of like the Knicks 76ers. Who makes that first critical mistake, and then that gives the other team the advantage in the series. But I'm going to say Thunder in 7. Then the other series is maybe the best out of the 4. Would be the Timberwolves and Nuggets. Could probably make a whole video on this one alone. Jokic versus Edwards. Edwards, he played fantastic in the last series against the Suns. Everyone's comparing him to Michael Jordan, and that's surprisingly not unfair to say at this point. And I really think that the Wolves have a very good chance to win the series. I'd be shocked if this doesn't go 7 games. It's probably the first one. Like, I'm confident it will go 7. I think Mavs and Thunder will go 7. I'm not confident, though. I'm confident this one will go 7. And that would be an amazing game if this one does go 7. And I'm really 50-50 on this one. But I'm going to lean towards the Nuggets because of the experience. I mean, they're the defending champions. It's hard for me to see them leaving in the second round. But the Timberwolves really, really impressed me. Like I said, I thought the Suns were going to win. But then the sweep, just the energy they had, the level of defense along with the offense, which is, in playoffs is very much needed. So I think I have to go with the Nuggets here just because they're the defending champions. It's really hard to not pick them in that scenario. But at the same time, I could very easily see the Timberwolves winning. I could say that about a lot of these series. The only one I'm very confident about is Boston. But really, the other ones, I'm pretty confident about New York too. But in the West, it could really easy be anyone, in my opinion. So I feel like I went half and half in the first round. I'd have to, look a little bit to see how well I actually did. But it's went half and half last round. Feeling better about this round. It's kind of boring predictions, just taking all the higher seeds, but this should be some great basketball. These are series that could really go either way. Like I said, I'm really only confident about one team, and then really anything else could happen. I'm pretty confident about New York too. But so that should do it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.